If you haven't yet, please make sure you type your first and last name into the chat box. It just makes it easier for me to take attendance. If you're watching this as a recording, make sure you text me afterwards and let me know you watched it and if you have any questions. So today we're going over week 6, the last complete week of classes. The next week of school is not formal classes. It's we kind of extended like the semester a little. So you may have finals in some of your classes, and it may be time for you to be catching up on any work that was due in some of your other classes. And so today is our last formal class. The rest of the classes we have, so later on this week when we meet, and then next week we will have check-in style meetings instead of a formal class. So I'm going to go over what you guys are working on this week coming up and how you can go ahead and start finishing the semester. So the last unit or the last week of our unit is about actually doing your persuasive presentations. And then after those are submitted, completing your critiques. And so you need to record your persuasive speech. Make sure that in your video, you have to be able to see the visual aid or your face or both, but your visual aid has to be shown and referred to in your speech. So that is something important a lot of people did not do in the speech. Anytime you have a visual aid, it has to be present in the speech itself. And so when you are recording your video, you need to make sure that you have your visual aid up. That is part of the reason I like using Zoom to do your recordings. If you do use a cell phone, you're going to want to make sure you have your, we'll pretend this PowerPoint's my visual aid. So you want to have your visual aid up, whether it be a picture or a presentation. If it's a presentation, do not leave it up in this mode, okay? Because you can see this over here and it's very distracting to the viewer. You want to actually have it in present mode, so like this. And so that way, as you're talking and you come to information that's important, you can move through the visuals in your visual aid if you have multiples. And it's up and showing while you're presenting, okay? And then if you want your face showing as well, you can leave the video up on the right-hand side and you'd be able to see your face while the presentation is going. But you do not have to have your face showing. You can just have the visual aid showing. If you're not using Zoom, you're gonna wanna still pull up your presentation on a laptop and make sure that your camera is viewing that the visual aid that's pulled up on your computer while you're recording your speech, okay? It is very important that you have both your audio of your voice and your visual aid in your persuasive speech video when you turn it in, okay? You will submit the video to the discussion thread, okay? So right here under persuasive speech videos, you are each going to submit your own, so you just add a new thread and you post in here with your video attached, okay? And remember, you can put a little note in the body section if you have anything to say to your viewers, okay? That is due by Friday, okay? And so you guys have to have your speech turned in by Friday, Okay. And then once your speech is in, you guys are going to do the persuasive speech critique. And so this is the form. And I have updated it so it's a Microsoft Word document because I know the original was a PowerPoint or a PDF. So this will make it easier for you to fill it out. So you can click on this, open it, and then you fill this out. For each speech you watch, you need to watch at least 5. These go into a Dropbox, and there is a link to it right here. Okay. Now, the last thing will be your final exam. Okay. I still have not received your final exam. I'm waiting to get it from the department. And I'm still waiting for word from my boss as to whether or not I can just use the final that I created and move on with it so that I can let you guys start taking the final and finishing up if you're ahead. But I have not received the word yet, and I have not received a copy of the common final if we're going to be using one this semester. So I'm hoping to hear about the final exam sometime today or tomorrow at the latest. If I don't, I'm going to start calling people and throwing a fit. And so I should have news about your final exam before check-ins on Wednesday and Thursday, either way. And so once I know about the final exam, I will send an email out to everyone and a text message. Once it's up and in D2L, or sorry, E360, you will be able to come right here into the Unit 6 learning module. Remember, you had a learning modules, then the week 6, okay, and then you'll scroll to the bottom, and I'll actually have the directions and a link to the document and the Dropbox right here in this description, right here, okay? So this is where you'll come to take the final. It will be very similar to the ones you've done before. I just don't know if we're going to actually put it into D2L as a quiz or if it's going to be a Word document that you guys then fill out and then turn in. But as soon as I know, you will know. I'm just waiting for information from my boss about whether I have to use the common final or if they're going to let me just go ahead and move forward because it's taking, in my opinion, it's taking them too long to get this out. And I want you guys to have plenty of time to take your final. Keep in mind, the final exam is open book, open internet. You know how I feel about exams. And you will just, I'll have more instructions in here, but you'll be just submitting your answers. Also, so the last day to do your persuasive critiques and your final exam will be next week. I'm actually giving until the 10th of May to submit all work, all missing work, okay? And so the 10th of May is your last day to submit anything that you're missing. And so your final exam and your persuasive speech critiques are due by May 10th. But remember, you need to have your video done by Friday, Sunday at the very latest, so that it's in enough time for you to also get critiques. So remember, once you're done with your critiques, you will submit them to the Dropbox. So it'll take you there by clicking on the link and you'll upload a file. Okay. Yes. Okay. So does anyone have any questions? If you haven't yet, please make sure you type your first and last name into the chat box so that I can use that to count for attendance. If you don't have any questions, free to go until our check-in on Wednesday or Thursday. If you do have questions, please stay and ask. As this is our last formal class, I want to make sure you guys understand what you're supposed to be doing and that you can move forward. Jasmine. Emily, did you have a question?
Hello, Miss Hayes. Miss Hayes.
Sorry, I was responding to you and didn't realize I was muted.
Oh, okay. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Oh, okay. So, are we having an extension for all classes or just yours?
I don't know how your other classes are handling it. They did give us a little bit of extra time to turn in grades. And so I'm giving you as much extra time as I possibly can with still giving me enough time to grade. So that's why I extended to the 10th. So I would ask your instructors because the college did give us more time to turn in grades.
Okay, good. I just need a clarification because my other teachers professors are not telling me what's going on. So I
Oh,
just wanted to know.
yeah, I'm sorry about that. You may want to contact department heads. You can find the information in the syllabus because teachers are supposed to be being very upfront and letting you guys know the plan so that you guys can finish successfully. Like that's part of our system right now. So you may want to call
Yeah,
and find out what's going on.
yeah. I might. Okay, I'm gonna have to call them. But thank you, Miss Hayes. You have.
You too. Okay, guys, I don't see any more questions being asked. So that is all for today. I'm going to go in the recording and post it in our learning module.